Guys, we have officially reached 800 subscribers here on YouTube. And just like always, that means it's time for a top 10 figure list. This is going to be our first ever Transformers one because I'm on a bit of a Transformers kick right now. We did the Skybound video, I'm really enjoying the comics, I'm enjoying a lot of the toys I picked up recently, and if we're going to do our first top 10 for a Transformer character, you might as well do Optimus Prime. So just a couple of things I need to say right now. 1. This is just Optimus Prime. No Optimus Primal, no Nemesis Prime, no Rodimus Prime, just Optimus Primes. Alongside that, it has to be figures that I currently own. With all that out of the way, you can see we have a lot of Optimus Primes. This might be the single largest pool when it came to a single character top 10 list ever. The only character that even comes close to this would have been the Batman video we did. But that's enough preamble. Let's actually get into this. Thank you guys so much for subscribing to me. Thank you for everyone who's discovering me and sticking with me. But now, let's talk about who is the best of the best for a guy whose name literally means best first. Number 10 is a pretty self-indulgent pick. This is the RID Warrior Class Optimus. This is RID 2015. Now, the reason I like this Optimus, is it the best articulated? No. Is it the best painted? No. But this design is so different for an Optimus, and I love it. It's very super robot with the big long legs and the beefy torso. I wish we could have gotten this figure in a larger scale that still had this level of articulation. It is one of my favorite looks for Optimus ever. Alongside that, the transformation is fun, and the vehicle mode is really solid too. It's not going to be on everyone's top 10. In fact, it's probably on no one else's top 10. But for me, for right now, 2015 RID Optimus has to make it on my top 10 list, even if just barely. Whereas number 10 might be controversial for being on the list, number 9 is probably going to be controversial for how low he is on the list. The Missing Link Optimus, he is new, a lot of people really like him, treat him as the greatest Optimus Prime figure ever, or one of. He's good, I like him, but at the end of the day, if I had a G1 Optimus figure still, Missing Link would not be on here. It's a fun toy, it's an interesting toy, it's an experiment of a toy. But the G1 Optimus just has an undeniable charm about him that this figure doesn't have. It's just a weird hodgepodge of modern elements that don't fit on the original Diaclone boy, I'm sorry. This guy is still good, he's number 9. But just know, I'm looking for a G1 Prime, and as soon as I have him back in my collection, Missing Link would not have made this top 10 list. That said, you want to know something that this guy has that the original doesn't? Listen to this. Man, baby. That is some sweet Ratchet. I do like the Ratchet joints on this guy. Again, good figure, just not the best. At number 8, it had to be the Leader Class Transformers Legacy G2 Optimus. I love Laser Optimus. This is such a great design for the character. I would still need to pick up the vintage one, because I adore this look. It's one of my favorite Optimus designs ever. Love the big shoulder pads, love the sword, I love how the Matrix is poking through. I love the color scheme even, replacing a lot of the blue with black while still keeping the blue around. It is perfect. What I especially love is that angry head sculpt. Here, let's zoom in. Check that out. That is a pissed off Prime if ever there has been. So, this figure is wonderful. But there is a little bit of resentment here. As good as this figure is, I actually prefer the Reveal the Shield Laser Prime. I still have the Scourge of that mold, but like I said, Scourge, Nemesis, he doesn't count for this list. If I still had that Reveal the Shield Optimus, there's a real chance it would have been in the top 3, possibly even the top 1. This is still a really good Optimus, but there was a big part of me when I was doing this ranking that couldn't help but remember, you know, it's not quite the one I remember. Even still, this is an incredible Optimus that has a little bit of a different design, especially by today's standards, a wonderful amount of articulation, so many great gimmicks, like the flip-out missiles and the Matrix and the sword. Such a wonderful recreation of what was already one of the best Transformer toys ever. My introduction to Transformers were the Michael Bay movies and animated, so Michael Bay movie Prime had to show up on the list somewhere. Well, we might as well show the only Michael Bay movie Optimus I still have, that being the Studio Series Movie 1 Voyager, the one that came with the pistol. I really like this figure. It's a little bit of a mess of a figure, look at all that kibble, look at all that mess on the back. but I do think that this is a really good looking movie Prime, and one of the best articulated ones at that. I have some issues with mine. His shoulder has a really hard time staying together, but even still, it's a good Optimus. One that is always going to have a nostalgic soft spot in my heart, so he's always going to have a spot in the collection movie Optimus. But I'm not going to lie and say that this is some otherworldly figure. I honestly think Laser Prime is probably a better toy than this in every regard. The only thing is, there's a nostalgic connection here, so all the way here at number 7, we have the lone Michael Bay movie Prime of the list. Good on you, bud. People are going to hate this one. Okay, at number 6 is the Earthrise Leader Class Optimus. Listen, a lot of people hold this up as the best modern mainline Optimus. I actually agree with that. I think this is the best modern mainline Optimus. But he's not my favorite Optimus figure. He doesn't even come close. There are some figures that are just different. They're not mainline. They're older. But if you want a cartoon-accurate Optimus, this is your best bet when it comes to the retail mainline Transformers. So many great things here. The head sculpt, which is just perfectly Optimus. The Matrix here, the fact that you can articulate the arms to make it look like they're opening the Matrix doors. The rifle that folds away and stores on his back. The fact that he comes with the trailer. A trailer which, by the way, still has the drone in it. You get blast effect parts. You get a great transformation. This Optimus, I honestly thought was going to at least be in my top 3. But as I was making this list, I just knew in my heart of hearts this was not a top 3 Optimus for me. This wasn't even a top 5 Optimus for me. I still hold it up as one of the best Optimuses, and if you're building a skybound shelf with mainline Transformers, this is the one to get. I've just kind of surprised myself realizing that there are quite a few Optimus Prime figures that I still like more than this one, but that doesn't take away from it being great. At number 5 is another figure that's often heralded as being the single greatest Voyager Transformers has ever done, that being the Bumblebee movie studio series Optimus. I do really love this figure. It is great. The design is perfect. It looks so great as a modern Optimus. I remember the nightmare it was to find this figure, and I found mine at a Kmart as it was closing down. How magical that day was. I do still really like this Optimus. I love my Bumblebee movie shelf. I love this look. I love this figure. This was another one just like Earthrise where I was convinced it was going to go so much higher on the list, but I just can't justify it. Yes, it's good. Yes, it's brilliant. Yes, it's great. But there are Optimus Primes that have been with me longer or have impressed me more in the time since. I still think that this is an incredible Optimus in every single regard. But it's just not the best one for me personally. Keep in mind, this is not an objective list. I tried to make this clear. These are just my personal opinions, the Optimus Primes that I like the most. And you want to know something about when you like something? Sometimes you can like things for dumb reasons, and things that are brilliant you might not like as much, also for dumb reasons. This figure is near perfect, and in some ways it probably should be on the top of this list, but it's going to have to settle for top 5. Number 4 has to go to one of the greatest Optimus Prime figures of all time, the Classics Optimus. You want to know something? Classics to Universe to Generations, so many figures either got replaced or people wanted replacements for them, right? Megatron, Starscream, Soundwave, Bumblebee. All the core cast eventually got replaced and people were good with it. The only character I never heard anyone saying that they wanted a replacement for on the Classic shelf was Classics Optimus. Sure, he's not entirely G1 accurate, but this figure is so great looking. It's bulky, it's athletic, it has a great style to it. It's so good, this Optimus Prime. I adore this Optimus, and it's still the Optimus on my Classic/Generation shelf. Alongside that, you have so much articulation hidden away. Keep in mind, this was still the Cybertron era of articulation, so there might not be double-jointed elbows or anything, but you can get some seriously good and dynamic poses with very little effort. And look at this, his backpack. By the way, his backpack. Here, flip this out. There we go. His backpack. Check this out. Doop. You flip it around, it's his ion blaster. Even this, his kibble isn't even kibble, it's just another gun. Oh, I have a hard time getting the nozzle out. There we go. And it's a good looking gun. That's awesome. This figure was the Optimus I wanted as a kid. It's the Optimus that as a teenager I hunted down. It's the Optimus that's been holding down my collection ever since. It's a very good Optimus. And the only time I replaced it was when we eventually got the Earthrise Optimus. even then, I never sent this guy away because in my heart of hearts, I still think this is the better figure and the better depiction of Optimus Prime. Cartoon accurate? No, but it has his energy, it has his spirit, it has his spunk. If there's one figure that I'd say, hey, seek this one out if you don't have it on this entire list, it's Classics Optimus, because he's one of the best Transformers ever, just for how simple, intuitive, and brilliant he is. I adore this Optimus. Even still, he just barely made it onto the Mount Rushmore. What 3 Optimus Primes would I place above this Cadillac of a figure? Why don't we go from the Optimus I wanted as a kid to the Optimus I had as a kid? At number 3, this is Animated Deluxe Cybertronian Optimus. Oop, come on Optimus. Let go of your axe, there we go. This is one of the best deluxes from the animated line. I adore this Optimus. It's a very different looking Optimus, right? Which, to be fair, everything in animated was very different looking. But you look at this guy, there's such personality here. His articulation on point, his head sculpt. I love this. It captures animated Optimus so sincerely. It's beautiful. Alongside that, I remember as a kid coming up with various things like, oh, this Optimus doesn't have a gun. Well, guess what? Boop. That's his gun. He has the guns built into his arms. Oh, I saw Beast Wars. I saw that Optimus Primal has his Prime Jets. Well, I'll flip these flaps up. Boom, those are Optimus's Prime Jets. It's the fact that I can still remember the play scenarios I made for this Optimus. I can still remember what I pretended he could do as a figure. I love this Optimus Prime, and I always will. Sure, you can point out his axe is a little bit on the rickety side. You can point out his shield is not that great. But that doesn't change the fact that this was my childhood Optimus. This was the toy that I took everywhere with me. This is the Optimus that led my childhood team of Transformers. This is the one that I imagined with. This is the one that, when I came up with new adventures, this was the Optimus I had in mind. I might not hold animated Optimus as a character in such high regard anymore. He's still good, he's just a very different Optimus. But this figure, when I close my eyes and I think of Optimus Prime toys, this is one that's always going to come up. I can't move past my original Prime, and I don't think I should. This is the perfect deluxe Optimus. But there are 2 Transformers, 2 Optimus Primes, that I hold in a little bit higher regard than this Optimus. But that doesn't change the fact that this is my guy. This Optimus has made me remember something. I've been meaning to make a video that was literally just, hey, what was my childhood Transformers team? I'm putting this in here more or less just so I can remember to eventually make that video, but, yeah, man. I love seeing this guy back on the camera. This is a good Optimus. At number 2, it's MP01, the original Masterpiece Optimus Prime. Keep in mind, I'm not a Masterpiece guy. I'm just not. I don't have great love for that type of Transformer. I have a couple of Masterpieces, the characters I really like, but this is my Optimus. MP01. Now, MP10, objectively a better figure. MP44, the one that costs like $500, a lot of people love him. So many third-party Optimus Primes. But this guy, there's such a magic to him that's never been replicated. Like the button on the back of his head that lets you move his faceplate. Like the fact that when you flip over these little things on his arms, here, it takes a little bit of time, especially if you don't have fingernails like me. Come on, come on. There we go. You get monitors where he's calling Megatron and Bumblebee. The fact that he came with Megatron in gun form. The fact that, here, when you move his arms, look at this. The pistons move too. This was Takara Tomy trying for the first time ever to make a truly different Optimus. One for the adult collector. A Sola Chigokin figure, essentially. And they succeeded. Masterpiece has never had this level of splendor given to it again. Instead, they went for cartoon accuracy, they went for articulation, they went for accessories. All valid. It makes them better toys. But this Optimus feels like it wasn't meant to be a toy. It was meant to be a centerpiece. It was meant to be a one-of-a-kind. And when you added other masterpieces, yeah, eventually this guy became outdated. But I'd argue he never was outdated. They never made masterpiece figures to go with him. They made masterpieces to go around him until they eventually got to MP10, an Optimus that could go with those guys. This Optimus can stand alone. It is a centerpiece in and of itself, one of my favorite figures ever. And at the end of the day, I don't think you can ever truly replace him. Yes, MP10, MP44, all the third-party offerings, they all do something better than this guy. But none of them have ever been the titanic moment that this Optimus felt like. For the 20th anniversary, this was how it was celebrated. They made this Optimus. And this Optimus still persists as one of the most unique experiences in Transformers ever. Even still, there is one figure, possibly due to recency bias, that I would put over this mammoth. If you've seen my recent Transformers videos, you've heard me gush about this guy. Number one had to be the 3-0 MDLX Optimus. I love this guy. I really do. He doesn't transform, but at the same time, I don't necessarily care about that. I care about the characters of the Transformers. I care about the robot modes, the articulation, the paint, the accessories. Sure, this guy can't transform into a truck. So what? He's the best at everything else. He's his own unique style that's still, of course, cut from G1, but it doesn't feel like I'm just getting that Optimus all over again the way it sometimes feels with Generations. This robot mode is perfect. It captures Optimus in so many ways. You're given so much articulation, so many accessories, so many different styles that you can go for. If you want a more angry Prime, you're given that opportunity. If you want a more stoic Prime, if you want a Prime that's going to look like a statue, or one that's going to really make use of the insane articulation of the guy, you have those options. And he's just going to get more and more Autobots to go with him. He's just going to get more and more Decepticons to fight. I love this line. It might be my favorite thing in Transformers right now, and I have to put the Optimus at the top of my list. Will he be at the top of this list in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? I don't know. I don't know. But right now, in this moment, this is my favorite Optimus Prime in my collection. Bringing my top 3 Optimus Primes back in, and I'll admit it, I would not have expected these to be my 3 favorites, but they are. They genuinely are. These are the 3 Optimus Primes that bring me the most joy in my entire collection. I want to thank everyone again for getting me to 800 subscribers. I hope everyone sticks around. I hope we can keep making fun videos, and quite frankly, I hope that I get to just do more. I hope I get to do more videos. I hope I get to do more improvements for my setups, lighting, audio, camera work. I hope that we can just keep doing this because it feels good and I like it. It's nice to put these videos out, and sometimes they do really well, sometimes not so much, but that's part of the fun too. These are my 10 favorite Optimus Primes. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I guess we'll just have to see what comes out next.